Hey everyone, this is Talina Adamo. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here. Today I am going over my multi-dimensional creator planner. This is something I've been working on for a few months. I have the standard version of this planner available. As you can see, this is the cover from the standard version. And basically the standard version includes the monthly, weekly, and daily pages that a normal planner would have, and then alongside some small amount of annual planning for your goal setting. You can use this planner like a quarterly planner. I would suggest that you kind of test out 1 or 2 quarters at a time to see what you can, fit in your binder, because it can get pretty bulky. The premium planner in specific, I am learning, has a lot, at least for me, because I have so many goals and additional pages in the premium planner that allow me to really break down what are my goals, what are the tasks and things that I need to do, brainstorming, business stuff that I will go into over time and show you the premium pages on this channel as well. But I can't fit the entire 4 quarters along with all of the additional planner pages for the premium that I've created for each project. So because I'm a multitasking, multidimensional planner, as the title shows, I may have to consider only doing 1 quarter at a time or 2 quarters. And also because I love using other planners as well. And because I'm using the Happy Planner disc system, I I love that I can Franken plan and have more than one in this system. But I'm learning what I need personally for myself, and that's why I designed this planner to help me organize my multitasking and somewhat ADHD brain. I want to say ADH, but it's probably ADD. So, yeah, undiagnosed, but I think we all have a little bit of that. Structure is needed in our brains, especially as we're getting old and we become moms and what other things affect our brains. That I personally, I don't know about you, when I use a schedule or a planner, it helps me get more done. Whereas if I just wing things and I don't have a plan, I don't see in front of me what I need to do for the day, I will just tackle everything and all things at once. And I'll start cleaning, for example. I'll clean the kitchen, I'll start moving on to another room. Next thing you know, I have a so messy house of all these projects going on and cleaning at the same time. And now I feel like it's going to take a week just to clean up the new mess I made cleaning the house, as opposed to let me just set a timer for 30 minutes and clean this one thing. So that's why I've created this system for myself. And I love using, in general, planners that are out there. For example, the HB90 system is another one that I use for my writing and goal setting as well. But taking inspiration from that planner and many other planners that I've used over the years, I have created this personal multi-dimensional creator planner specifically for people like me who are creators. And that could be many things. So technically, you could be an entrepreneur who just creates many different forms of business or how do we call that? IPs or income generating things that you want to make, whether they're digital or physical products or whatever. It could be many things. But me specific, I am a creator of arts. I do arts and crafts like pottery, jewelry, sewing. I dabble in a lot of things arts, and I'm trying to niche specifically to what I want to do for that. So I have a way to take that arts and crafts and pottery business that I'm trying to run and break that down into what are my plans for the year in my annual planning system. And as you can see here, I also have this annual at a glance, year at a glance that you can look at. This is a dated one. There's also an undated version if you prefer that. And then there's some lines underneath that where you can fill in special dates or events in that year at a glance. And then also, before I dive into these annual pages right here, I just want to mention that aside from crafts, I'm also a writer and a filmmaker. So there are some film projects that I'm planning. Um, and there's also novel series that I'm writing. And there's also courses on the educational side of filmmaking and writing that I'm trying to, put together and put out there as an educational course, not only like an ebook or a workbook type course, but also like an interactive here's on teachable.com, you can do these amazing things and teach people with video and modules. And that's what I'm working for. So I have a lot of things to break down, not only for my annual goals, but each day, each week, each month, each quarter. So that is why I have taken these special things in mind when I created this planner. And I have these annual goals that I'm going to go over in this video today, just to kind of briefly summarize the annual pages. And then I will keep doing a couple other short videos, flipping through the planner and showing you what's involved in the premium one specifically. Because otherwise, I'll point out which one is just the standard, and you'll see the difference of the standard versus the premium. And hopefully, if these are something that could help benefit you in your goal setting and structuring your life, you would consider downloading this planner, whether it's just the standard or even the full system that I've built for Multidimensional Creator premium planning pages. That, with these videos, I can help share my process, what I'm doing, so you can get an idea of which one would fit best for you. So here on the annual goals, I have the first pages where you're just kind of getting your mind dump. You're getting specific questions for what are your creative ideas, your business ideas, and filling in each section. And I am going to eventually do a really deep dive educationally for each section, how to fill them out, but I don't want to waste your time on this particular video diving deep until you have gotten to that point of I'm going to do this. So yeah, this is a brief one, but basically the first page is going to break down what are your goals, your creative ideas, projects, stories that you want to bring to life in the first section. And then we go into your business and income, offerings, launches, revenue streams to grow, things that you want to use with those ideas and projects to bring those ideas or projects or products to life. And then below that, we have personal growth, which is your skills, habits, or inner work for the year. We have a little bit more personal. And then below that, we'll go into well-being and lifestyle, which covers your health, home, energy, and your supportive routine. And once you fill out this page and you move on to the annual financial goals page, this is where you set your intentions for the year, for your revenue targets, which is your desired total income for the year, your monthly, quarterly, or your annual. I personally, at some point, when I do have an actual good income that's flowing, right now, I have a lot of random pockets of income and different sales and personal sales, and just not enough to really be enough to keep track of that here. So what I'm doing temporarily until I get to that point, which I know I will because that is my goal, I am just listing the products that I want to sell and create right now for this year, what their price values will be, like what their sales prices are, and what their, maybe I run a sale, the version of here's what the full price of the planner is. For example, I have a standard planner. So I want to sell my planner for $36, the undated. But when I launch it, I want to give a good discount to really encourage people to try it out, to build credibility for the planner and for myself, and get those reviews and people really saying, hey, this is a great planner, before I bump it up to that full price. So I will list those things here, for example. So it could just be, instead of really focusing on that, you could focus on how I do it until you get to that point. But otherwise, let's say you are making a certain amount every month, you would put that here and say, hey, I want to raise my $1,000 a month side business earnings to $5,000 a month. And maybe for the medium goal, I want to bump that to 7,000 or 8,000, and have those goals set, maybe like a mild, medium, hot kind of I must have hot sauce on my mind, but setting goals of, here's goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, like the minimum, the better, or the best outcome of what income I want to make. So that's what I would do in the revenue targets section. And don't mind me pointing to different things that might not be what I'm talking about, because I'm actually doing a voiceover over this video because I've had some audio technical issues. But right now, I just want to give you a brief overview because this video was so long. So I'll cut it up the best I can for you. But the next section is income streams, where I list my current or new revenue sources that I want to grow. So for example, as an artist, I have an Etsy account, and as a digital planner. I put the standard planner up on Etsy already. And then eventually I'm going to put more on there. But for now, it's just Etsy standard planner available. And then I have Gumroad, which I'm going to list my standard and my premium planner onto that website. Then I have monthly calendars that I want to create, and I'm collaborating with a photography friend of mine for some really great wall calendars. And I'll probably sell those in person because that's a physical product. So yeah, that's a different situation. I'm still working on developing those ideas and how we're going to print it and sell it, and if we're going to do it ourselves or if we're going to outsource it to, a printer company. So that's one. And then the other income stream would be YouTube here at Selena Adamo. I want to basically combine all the things I'm working on for now until my channel grows in subscriptions and I can get monetized. And I want to discuss all of my writing and filmmaking stuff here in this one place and see how the videos do and how you guys like the channel, and what happens from there. I'll grow from there. But yeah, YouTube is my income stream that I'm hoping to get monetized for. And then also we have book launch sales. I obviously have one book that I've already published in 2020, I believe. And that book, I haven't really pushed it. I haven't advertised it. I haven't really, I don't want to say I haven't done anything, because I have done in-person sales where I have sold my arts and crafts for Talina Marie Creations and had my pottery and dream catchers and all kinds of artsy stuff out on a table displayed for people to buy. And I decided, let me just stack my books here. And if anyone's interested, they might buy my books too. And guess what? I sold 11 books. I can't believe it. I was so happy. But I do want to focus more on doing things specifically for book sales. But because I'm sort of switching over from a children's fantasy novel to adult fantasy and a little bit of science fiction in there, it's kind of a totally different thing and totally different advertising market, and the audience is changing. So I didn't really want to push the book so much. However, I still want to write for children and those kind of stories as well. So my plan is to write the new books and produce music that I can also sell along with that, and then courses as well, where I use my stories or my books as examples on like presenting to you how to write a novel versus a screenplay, and using my stories in those courses. So I have a lot of ideas for those. But on my launches and offer section, I have book 1 through 3 novel series, the ebook and the paperback that I'll be selling, and a W3P masterclass, which is my teachable course, the first one I'll be doing through the Story Makers. And then AI video promos, teasers that I'm testing on different formats of AI creation, including Creator Wood TV, which is in beta mode that I am beta testing. So for savings and financial wellness on the last section here, you just want to list your goals for savings, debt reduction, emergency funds, or financial alignment. And I personally just talked about money I need to put aside for certain things, like for my book covers or audiobooks, because those cost a lot and I have to make sure I save up. So any income I do make, I want to make sure I put some aside for those things. And then profit for my own income, like my own personal spendings to take care of pampering myself or buying clothes or feeding myself because I need to eat, or special vitamins I need to take to better improve my health. And then obviously advertising funds. So those are some examples of what I would put in that section. But above that, real quick, for the launches and offers that we talked about, that's where I was talking about the books, and that would also be the planner. Different things that you might have in yours could be different, but that goes over products, books, courses, or creative offerings that you intend to release. So that would cover the annual financial goals, your revenue targets, your income streams, your launches and offerings, and your saving and financial wellness. And then the next page is going to be your annual reflection and alignment, where it says on the top, your energy reset for the year. So I've never used these before, but I decided to include these and encourage myself to go ahead and take insights from last year, which on the first section is notable lessons, patterns, wins, or realizations that shape your past year. You want to list the things you have accomplished, the things that you did maybe that can encourage you, and then also the things that you might have done wrong and how you can improve them. And then the next section is what to release, which would be your habits, commitments, beliefs, or energies you're ready to let go of, which can extend from that first section. And, talk about those blockages you might have or those negative thoughts that are stopping you from creating that project's completion or moving forward. And then the last section is what to strengthen or invite, intentions, values, and opportunities you want to learn into this year. So let's this reflection guide your direction and alignment throughout the year. That is the page for that. And then there is a word of the year page. This is where you can use a fancy font or your markers and have fun and just really decide what your word of the year is going to be that will help guide your frequency throughout that year. Where are you now in your life? What part of your progress in all forms, in all of those goals you're setting in every aspect of life? Come up with that perfect word that can help you progress. And my particular word for the year is emerge, where I like a butterfly transforming from a caterpillar or a seed that's sprouting from the soil. That's my word of the year, is emerging. I'm ready to just bloom. I'm ready to grow. I've been kind of hiding and not doing the videos and not getting out there and not networking with people. And I've also just been holding back my projects and wanting perfection and never completing them. So I chose this word to basically come out of the cocoon, and now I'm evolving into more of that emerging new form. I've got some additional pages here that I'll go over in the next video, but that is pretty much the annual alignment. And I thank you guys so much. I hope you're enjoying these videos so far and you'll consider purchasing the planner. And I'll give you a link below where you can do that either on Etsy or Gumroad. For these specific pages, this is the premium planner, which will be on Gumroad. So I will go ahead, link both, and you can decide if you want one or the other. And then, in video number 2, I'll go ahead and start showing you what this next page is, this creative universe tree I'm excited to share. So tune back into the next episode of the Multidimensional Creator Planner. I look forward to talking to you guys. Bye.